Last hour at Manchester City, Rodrigo brings an important update about the fright he had with an injury during the victory over Brentford. Meanwhile, the club would be willing to invest €100 million to hire one of the best tips in the Bundesliga. What's more, a City striker spoke openly about his future after his failed negotiation with Tottenham. Stay with me to the end to check out all the news from Manchester City. But first, if you are in love with citizens just like us, you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything about the biggest Premier League team. City fans can breathe relieved. Rodrigo shared good news about the muscle problem that took him out of the field in the first half of the 1-0 win over Brentford. The 2024 Golden Ball winner scared everyone when he felt the later thigh muscle, forcing Pep Guardiola to replace him with Nico. Given the importance of Spanish, especially after the absences of last season, the concern was immediate. The match, in addition to securing 3 more points, marked Guardiola's 250th victory at Premier League, a record reached faster than legends such as Alex Ferguson and Arsène Wenger. Even so, the celebration was in the background in the face of doubt about Rodrigo's physical condition. After the game, he minimized fears in an interview with Manchester Evening News. "I'm fine. I felt a slight discomfort, but nothing serious. The most important thing was to win. I stretched my leg a little, as in the Euro final, but it's part. I'm feeling good and rested." The break for FIFA date arrives at a good time for him to recover fully before the duels against Aston Villa, Everton, and Borussia Dortmund. Guardiola was already running the cast in midfield, but losing Rodrigo again would be a hard blow. Fortunately, it seems that he will be ready to maintain the unbeaten sequence of City after the break. The citizens plan a new market blow. After a summer of major changes, with exits from Ederson, Gundogan, Akanji, and Grealish's loan to Everton, the club seeks to reinforce the attack. Ryan Turkey has arrived, Oscar Bob has returned from injury, and the young Devin Mukasa was promoted from the base. But Pep wants more. According to Sportilt, Bayern Munich can receive offers of up to €100 million by Michael Olise, also the target of Liverpool and Chelsea. City and Chelsea would be ready to match any Reds proposal, showing the seriousness with which the club intends to boost the attack. It all depends on the performance of Bayern's new reinforcements and willingness to negotiate. If the business is realized, it would be another Guardiola success in the German market, as happened with Holland. The dispute for Olise promises to be one of the main themes of the next window. Good news also for the future of the cast. Young Chinho, a 21-year-old Brazilian tip, renewed a contract until 2031. Arrived from Troy, from the CFG group, he has played more than 3,000 minutes in the debut season. Tottenham even tried to hire after Son's departure, but City refused proposals above £70 million. The CEO himself, Ferran Soriano, blocked the transfer. Chinho said he was happy and adapted. "From the first day I felt at home. I learned very tactically and technically. I want to continue growing and helping City win titles." In addition to a salary increase, renewal includes release clause, protecting the interests of both parties. It is expected to become key to attack in the coming years. Captain Bernardo Silva rekindled the possibility of returning to AS Monaco in the future. In an interview after the draw between the two teams, the Portuguese said, "I have wonderful memories. It was a very special moment of my career. Monaco gave me a chance to start at that level. You never know." With the contract ending next summer and speculation involving Barcelona, PSG, Benfica, and Saudi Arabia clubs, Bernardo's words increased suspense about his destination. Since Manchester arrived in 2017, the midfielder has won all possible titles under the command of Guardiola, but still has effective ties with the French club. Pep Guardiola lives a moment of transition in his era at Manchester City. After gaining just about everything he could, Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, and World, the Catalan coach seems to renew the cast without losing his essence, one of the most dominant teams in English football history. He understands that, to keep the team competitive, it is necessary to oxygenate the group, to make room to young talents, and at the same time, to continue bringing players ready to decide. With the exits of historical names and the arrival of new talents, Guardiola is building a new generation of leaders. Rodrigo is the perfect example. The team's tactical brain, reference inside and off the field, and now the player who symbolizes the balance between experience and youth. The bet on names like Chinho, Mukasa, and Oscar Bob shows how much the club trusts in his training work. The City Football Group, with clubs around the world, has become a Guardiola-style cutting factory. Technical, intelligent, and adaptable players. These young people are being prepared for the future, but they also deliver in the present. The coach has given precious minutes to learn under pressure, especially in Premier League games and domestic cups. The mindset is clear. It is not enough to win now. It is necessary to ensure that City continues at the top for many years. Rodrigo's recovery is not just good medical news, it's strategic. The Spanish is the engine that makes City work. When he is on the field, the team has balance, control, and confidence. His absence last season was expensive, with irregular results that showed how indispensable it is. Guardiola knows this, and therefore should manage his minutes better in the coming months. The calendar is cruel, and the season includes decisive clashes in the Premier League, Champions League, and England Cup. With direct opponents such as Liverpool and Arsenal in large shape, Rodrigo's physical management will be fundamental. If City really invests heavily in Michael Olise, it will be aiming for something beyond simple cast depth. The Frenchman is explosive, creative, and extremely versatile, and can act on both ends and even inside. Its arrival would open new tactical possibilities for Guardiola, especially in games where the team faces closed defenses. With him, Holland would have even more offensive ammunition, and the rotation with players like Foden and Doku would be more dynamic. In addition, Olise is young and still has a margin of evolution, something that City values a lot. Among the names that most excite the fan, Chinho is perhaps the biggest symbol of the new generation. The board's confidence in renewing his contract by 2031 shows that the club sees him a pillar of the future. The Brazilian has the typical daring of street ends, combined with the tactical discipline required by Guardiola. His technical and physical progress is visible, and the fans begin to see it as the natural successor of figures like Mahrez and Sterling. It is expected that in the coming seasons he consolidates his space and becomes absolute holder, especially if he continues to evolve at the current pace. Bernardo Silva's speech rekindles an old wound among fans, the fear of losing one of the smartest and most loyal players of the cast. Portuguese is a central piece in Guardiola's gear, capable of playing in various positions and being decisive in big games. But his desire to eventually return to Monaco is understandable. There he lived the beginning of his career, formed lasting friendships, and saw his own name explode in Europe. An eventual return would be a way of ending the cycle gratefully, although for the citizen fan, the simple idea of seeing him already donates deeply. Few technicians have the ability to reinvent a team as many times as Pep Guardiola. His obsession with control and perfection led him to turn Manchester City into a machine, but at the same time, he understands that each generation has its time. Today, the Catalan looks more serene, aware that it is shaping the future of the club. With a solid base, promising young people and reliable veterans, City remains the reference of modern football. The challenge is to keep the hunger to win, something that Guardiola, so far, has never missed. The coming months will be decisive. Roda's return, Chinho's evolution, and the possible advance in Olise negotiations can define the course of the season. Meanwhile, Bernardo Silva's issue is open, and the fan observes each movement carefully. With games against Aston Villa, Everton, and Borussia Dortmund on the horizon, City will have a chance to show that it remains the team to be beaten in Europe. International pause may have come at a good time. It is time to reorganize forces before a new whirlwind of challenges. More than talent on the pitch, what keeps Manchester City at the top is the mentality forged by Guardiola and embraced by each player. The entire cast has learned that winning is not an isolated act. It is a habit. Rodri, Bruyne, Bernardo, Holland, Everyone understands that each workout, every detail, every tactical correction counts. City plays with almost scientific accuracy, but also with a heart that pulsates in sync with its crowd. It is this combination of cold mind and warm soul that turned the club into a worldwide phenomenon. Rodrigo is not an official captain, but acts as one. Inside the locker room, it is respected as a commander who speaks little and acts a lot. He dictates the rhythm, keeps focus, and inspires his companions with discipline and consistency. Its rapid recovery of the injury shows the commitment of those who understand the size of the responsibility they carry. For Guardiola, have it healthy? It's like having the team's heart beating hard again. Without it, the city's game loses balance. With him, everything goes back to work. Erling Haaland is still the point of reference in the attack, but Guardiola's idea is clear, building a system that doesn't just depend on it. This is why the club seeks players like Olise and bets on young people like Chinho. The intention is to create an offensive line capable of reinventing itself in each game, with multiple creation and finishing options. Haaland needs partners who understand his movements and enjoy the spaces he opens. And that is precisely what Pepe is projecting to the next phase of the team. Each cycle brings farewells, and City lives a moment of emotional renewal. Players who have been pillars of recent achievements are leaving the club, and that moves the locker room. The departure of Ederson, for example, represented the end of an era. Gundogan, Grealish, and Akanji have followed different ways, and now the challenge is to replace not only their tactical functions, but also what they represented in terms of leadership and rapport. Still, Guardiola fully trusts in the new group. He believes Chinho's youth, Rodrigo's maturity, and Bernardo's genius will form the backbone of this new generation. With the increasingly demanding calendar, Guardiola has experienced tactical variations to preserve players' physique. Sometimes with 3 more positional socks, sometimes with tips retreating to help with the ball, City adapts like a living organism. Bruyne's return of Kevin after long injury will also be decisive. Game vision and accuracy in Belgian passes are irreplaceable, and their partnership with Rodri remains one of the strongest in European football. Those who follow Manchester City know that the bond between the team and the fans go beyond the results. At Etihad, every corner echoes as a reminder that the club was not born giant. He built himself with sweat, patience, and faith. Veteran fans who have lived the years of difficulty looking at the current team and are proud to see where the club has arrived. And that's why, even after a simple victory over Brentford, the stadium vibrates like a final. Passion Citizen is today one of the most intense in England. Pep doesn't just want to win. He wants to leave a legacy, a style of thinking and living football. Under his command, Manchester City redefined the concept of ball possession, high blood pressure, and tactical intelligence. But more than that, he turned mentalities. Players who passed him come out better, more conscious, more human. This is why the name Guardiola is already recorded in history not only of City, but world football. City lives a controlled transition phase, and this is the biggest sign of a champion club. Even with speculation about exits, the planning remains firm. Base work is consolidated, hiring follows a deep analysis pattern, and play philosophy remains untouchable. If the club can really bring Michael Olise, renew with Bernardo Silva, and keep Rodrigo healthy, next season can mark a new golden era, perhaps even higher than the previous one. Data FIFA's stop arrived at the perfect time. The cast needed to breathe, recover energies, and adjust physical and mental details. Rodrigo will take the opportunity to recover completely, while Guardiola plans what goes ahead. The idea is to return even stronger, with full focus on Premier League's commitments and searching for European glory again. So, citizen fan, that's your moment. The club you love continues to evolve, reinventing yourself and proving that success is not luck. It is work, vision, and faith. Leave your comment below. What do you think Manchester City need to improve? Who should be the next big name to wear the blue shirt? And what do you expect from Rodrigo, Chinho, and Bernardo in this new phase? If you are proud to be part of this story, subscribe now, leave your like, and share this video with other City fans. Because here, on the True Citizens channel, you not only watch the news, you live Manchester City.